All right. Morning, folks. Good morning, folks. Hopefully you had a great day yesterday. We nailed that long on stream yesterday, didn't we? And we said unlikely to see much rotation if we're a trend day. And what we want to see is it not take the all-time high, leave it for later in the week. We're getting what we want so far. We're definitely getting what we want so far. As always, we're going to start in the higher time frame charts, but I urge you, make sure you're coming to the market today feeling fresh. You know, have you eaten, slept, had your coffee, had enough water, gone for a walk outside? Any of your morning routine, make sure you go through it. If you're feeling tilt from yesterday for whatever reason, maybe you're one of the traders who traded in Top Step and had all your profits taken away, which is why we don't trade with monopolies. All right, then maybe you're tilted. So just make sure you're aware of that in your journal. Maybe today is a day to size down or just watch if that is the case. Okay, over here we go then into the daily chart. You'll see we have old all-time highs up here, just underneath 400. All right, so that ultimately is the target. But what we talked about yesterday is not taking it and allowing these bulls potentially to start expanding on a daily time frame. And you'll see that we are holding a 5 and 20-day support. So we had 1, 2, 3 attempts to break down underneath this daily Bollinger. It did not happen and it would not come. We go back for mean reversion and now we're going to go back to test the other side, right? So that's the obvious play. What are the options today? Well, what they could do is leave this old high and build an inside day, all right? It might be that we need more liquidity built out to go higher. It's very, very possible. And now I would want to see ideally 100 protected somewhere around here. All right, now possibly they want to come deeper into the 50s, but ideally you want to see this level here protected. If they're very kind, they're going to offer a deep pullback in, and maybe today becomes a rotation day. Maybe that pullback is instantly absorbed and we go back for the highs today. I don't know, but that's what I'm looking for. Potentially an inside bar to be set, because what that will allow is if we close inside here and we come to the market tomorrow, then we've got 1 lot of shorts, 2 lots of shorts, 3 lots of shorts, and when we break that, it is going to be explosive. Very, very possible we have a smaller inside day today. Like I said, the other option is a rotation back down to sort of 100, maybe a little bit below, and we just build that inside day. So if you're a rotational trader and you play edge to edge, that's also possible today. It's also possible that we go for a breakout, retest, and keep going, or a failed breakout and a trade back inside the inside. So we can go over all this in more detail in the daily charts. All right, so bias comes from what we see here, and then we're going to go down into the hourlies now. Make sure you can see all this. I can pull this down a little bit, give you a bit more room. All right, so hourlies, what do we have? Well, we can see this is the old weekly profile, and we're currently basing above the old weekly profile, and we've built out a lot of liquidity here. All right, this is where we're building it out, this double top, and what we're looking for is to build effectively a handle. We can think of this as a cup and a handle. What we're looking for is liquidity to be built here as a handle. Now, ideally, like I said, we'd want to build that liquidity over the 100s, right? Anywhere from sort of 150 to 100 would be the most ideal. It's possible we don't even get that far, all right? They're starting to offer, if we think about this pin high, there's your first leg. It's very possible they come second leg. We have thin volume in here. Maybe they protect it. Maybe they come down to this edge down here. I don't know. But once we get down there and we see them starting to turn on the lower time frame, we're going to look for some kind of rotation here. Then you're going to have to take a profit here because we don't know if today is a rotational day. And if you get acceptance above, then we're looking for the all-time high. Once we get to all-time high, you better be taking money off the table. Again, the same story. We don't know if we get to all-time high, fail breakout, come back inside and build more liquidity in this range. I don't know, folks. I do not have the answers. I'm not a market maker. I cannot tell you the end goal, but what I do know is we will need to build liquidity out somewhere here, as we've started doing. All right, the other options are, like I talked about, breakout, retest, continuation, fail breakout, come back inside, do the dance back in here. But this is definitely a do the dance level, all right? That's your do the dance level right now. Nothing's changed from overnight from where we were yesterday. We're going sideways. You can see it in this chart above. Here's your breakout yesterday, straight through the London, squeeze, 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 and then slow down. Sideways, 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 failed attempt higher in Asia, sell off, London sideways, trying to pick it back up, right? So if they break the shelf here, maybe they want to come back down into this. Maybe there's a counter trend short there if you're adamant on playing that today. But just be careful. Somewhere in here, I'm sure bulls are waiting, because this move happened very quick yesterday at the open. If you didn't get in it, you're going to wait for a retest. Now, one thing I should say, if we start failing this level, all right, if we start failing this level, where's the gut check? Old value levels, all right? We don't need to do anything, but bulls will want to keep us above previous week's value, all right? They will want to create new value here this week. If they fail, if this is a look above and fail and we get under previous week's value, we chop in this range then. That's the new dance that we play in, all right? So we're going to be aware of where we're positioned on the higher timeframes always, absolutely always. Okay, so you can see everything here in detail. Let's go drop down into a 5 minute and let's just have a quick look at ES. It's going to be the same story here, folks. Actually, I'm going to move out to a 15 just so I can see enough. All right, same story here. So ES is slap bang. Remember, NQ's sort of right up here. ES is slap bang in the middle of this 7-day supply range. All right, POC is probably sat right there by the looks of it. So it's not fully reclaimed this. This can maintain. This can be failure into supply and a rotation back down into range, back down towards the 700s if it really wants. Just be careful. ES is not looking as bullish. Why? The rotation started taking place yesterday and Friday back into the Mag 7. All in preparation for earnings. Run it up into earnings so they've locked in their profits. So that's what we're starting to see. You'll see Apple had a monstrous day yesterday. We'll go through the Mag in a minute. Amazon, my friend Amazon, is starting to find a bid at that 200-day. Like I said, I'm trying to buy dips on that. I think we're going to get an explosive move on that soon enough. So we can have one quick look at the VIX. Let's just remind ourselves where we are. All right, giving everything back here. We have some structure down here that we're coming to revisit. All right, so this is where VIX is trying to get. Currently, it's at a support structure. You can see huge break. And then backside and back down. All right, does the VIX find a bid here or here is the question. Here or here, and that's what will cause the risk-off scenario where we can start squeezing if we come under here. If we go sideways, we can drift. If we find a bid, might see more risk-off on the market. All right, if we start squeezing up, we might see a bit more risk-off in the market back in for the rotation plays. Let's have a look at the MAG. Right, big strong day yesterday on Apple. Like we said, all-time high break of the 60s. We're basing above that all-time high right now. It's absolutely fine for Apple to come back into sort of here and then go for the next move up. Equally, if they're just going to keep buying and buying and buying this, then you know what that is, higher time frame. But right now, slight gap down, basically opening up flat. There's nothing in that, but huge move yesterday. Fantastic move. Closed the day just under 10 points up, which for a mega cap is massive. Amazon, all right, here we go. We're starting to break out of this base. We've been looking at this. Remember, I am long in here from the 12s. Here's your base. Didn't know if we were going to do a little dance under here first, but we're starting to see that rotation from the big boys out of the likes of, we talked about it in Discord yesterday, out of the likes of those IREN, IONQ, Rigetti, those kind of names, and rotating back into the safe bets for earnings. All right, so if we can get going here, Amazon, it will pique my interest. Now, really, it's got to get back above 228 for this to be valid for much more than that. It can be at the moment. This can still happen into earnings, but you can see they're starting to see absorption here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a fail break, even especially on the options. Maybe they do this and rip it on earning. I don't know, but I'm very aware of how they like to play these things, but I am long in Amazon. Gapping up on there. Goog, all-time highs. Right, nice break yesterday, all-time highs. Now, slight gap down today, as you can see, gapping down a couple of bucks, and it's going to want to see if it can base out. All right, any base above 52s. All right, for that new push out. If it breaks out, then you're looking for a push above 57s, 58s, and a rebase higher. Breakout, retest, and then go. Or down here and one of these. All right, that's what Goog's looking to do. Meta, same kind of story. You can go to an hourly here. Here's its range on an hourly. All right, starting to see that rotation, starting to see absorption down here from the big boys. All right, if it starts to base here, it's going to get squeezy for this next move. So they'll be looking for 750s and then 790s and 800s. That's what they're looking for on Meta if they can get going again. Gap up there. Nice squeeze out yesterday, holding its gains well. All right, so institutional flows starting to come into these mag names. Microsoft, same story. All right, range. Here's the attempt to hold above. If they can hold above this range, we're going to get going back upside. You're going to see the same story here across them all in the run up to earnings, maybe other than some of the weaker names. Nvidia, it's got to hold this kind of level here. You want to see it start to absorb the bid here for this move back up if it's going to have a shot. That's a slightly weaker name, but it did already make big all-time highs and it was up almost 100% on the year. Just remember that. Tesla also, this has earnings tonight or tomorrow? Netflix tonight and Tesla's tomorrow? I can't remember. One of them. I think Netflix is tonight. All right, but same kind of story. Range being built out, trying to bid above the range now for that push. As a whole, you can have a look at the mags. As a whole, you can see they're bidding off their lows. All right, this is an equally weighted mags. They're bidding off their lows. The question is, can they do this now? If they do that, they will drag the market up with them, believe me. If they get going here, they will drag this market up with them. And let's have a quick look at AMD, looking great. So want to be a bit careful here. Looks a bit frothy, but I still think I'm still looking for that move up into 300. That's what I'm looking for ultimately. We'll see, folks, what we get here. All right, so you should be set here for the open. Let's move this back to the right one. I'm not expecting too much today. Somewhat expecting, an inside day unless it proves otherwise. And it would be good for the market, to be honest, if it can just have a choppy inside day. It will set up a really nice move for tomorrow if we can do that, because we'll have a really nice amount of liquidity being built out then. Let's go through some good mornings. All right, good morning, Jesse, Clint, Noah, Mike, Floyd, Jeff, NRS, InfoRisk, Miguel, Array, Mark, Silem, Tonio, Troy, FC Mike, Richard, Brandon, Toby, Glenn, Sergio, John Ball, Peter, Jonathan B, GG, Priska, One-on-One, Larry, John Dennis, Eva, Peter, Illis, Coop, Raphael, Marek, Chris, Bertmar, Lindell, Nihao, Charles, Psychosis, Lou Reed, Myron, Camus, Bart, BU, Owen J, Just Ain't Right, Ken, Eduardo, Golf ET, Stefan, JJ, and Andrew. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Calypso. Do me a favor, smash that like button nice and early. We'll give away the course later on today, I think. Raphael, I didn't get your email, so if you're here, let's make sure you do that email today. You were the winner yesterday. I still remember. All right, 2 minutes to open here. So currently, we're just inside of overnight value, inside of the previous day's value. So you can see these are your edges. All right, these are buyers, these are sellers, these are the rotational edges. All right, if you love scalps, maybe there's something in there for you. I would love to see a breakdown into here, not necessarily for me to short it, but I want to see if buyers come in the thin volume or down here, and then I'm either going to look for one of these or like a double bottom and a trap down here to get higher. That's what I'd love. If not, if we're going to go screaming higher, then I'll just have to play the order flow as I see it, very much like yesterday. If we get above here, either a failed breakout back into value, or if market turns on the buying algo today, continuation. This is probably accumulation to go higher, but we might well need some bears trapped in this before doing the move. That's where my brain is at. Said the same thing yesterday in the Discord. I'd like to see bears trapped in this if we're going to have an attempt to move higher. And I'd really like Amazon to come back down a little bit so I can get a little bit more size on, because I'm a cheapskate, but that's what I want. I'd like a bit more size on Amazon if possible. Other than that, we look good. Oi. All right, 20 seconds here, folks. Let's have a quick look at the liquidity. We've got buyers down at 200 right now. Any big boy sellers? No, not really. Not really. So I'm not in a rush here this morning unless I see like some big order flow on the tape starting to present itself. Let's see. So opening up right at previous day close, never a good sign between VWAP and PGC. So basically flat. That's never a good sign because we've got no gap to play with. So normally we get more of a choppy day when that happens. We can have a quick look at the MAG, Tesla opening up, 0.25% down, Nvidia 0.07% down, Microsoft 0.08% down, Meta a strong one, 0.83% up right now, Google 1% down, Amazon just under 1% up. It needs to come down for me, and Apple pretty much flat. So I am expecting chop here today, folks. No doubt. I'm expecting, at least for a part of the session, some chop so they can build out some liquidity, just like we've had overnight. Once we use yesterday and overnight's liquidity, then I think we can get a move. Take this one down a little bit. All right, so we had a good day yesterday. Just remember, market will not just move straight up, straight down. All right, it needs to rotate, needs to build people into it. So we're opening up right at VWAP, right at those flow zones. Let's see what we get. Remember, ES is right at that big supply level. Cannot forget that. All right, we've almost chomped through it all on NQ. ES is at that supply level. All right, retesting previous day value here. Maybe they come down for Globex. If they get heavy in Globex, maybe we gut check this. Maybe we come back down here. It can be a trap, can live in this area. I'm very aware that this area here was pretty thin yesterday, and a bear trap can live in this area somewhere. Maybe here, maybe here, maybe here. I don't know. We'll wait for it to come, wait for it to end, and then maybe I'm interested. Edge to edge will be down here to play back upside. Relative strength DK, an amazing sign. It means it had been sold off too much the last few weeks. So it was up yesterday and it's up today. That just says everything you need to know. Relative strength. If it has outages like yesterday, it's not selling down. That is your sign of the absorption on the tape. Okay, that's what's making me very, very interested in it. It's up almost 1.70% now on the day already. All right, so there's definitely has relative strength in Amazon right now off those lows. Remember, it's trading cheap right now. It's not trading at its all-time highs. Okay, here's the breakdown back towards Globex. So if you're in this short already, it looks good off that New York high. You're underneath previous day value. You're coming into that Globex level. Maybe you can get a sweep of Globex here. And maybe there's a little waterfall moment under Globex down. A little stop run down into this area. Remember, I'm looking for longs anywhere under here all the way down to here when they become ready. It might be that they don't become ready today at all. It's very, very possible. Let's see. So retesting previous day value area low. You got the New York session VWAP there. Yesterday's New York VWAP, by the way, is up at 291. Oh no, delete this VWAP. Come on. There we go. Lock. All right, so underneath previous day value, checking previous day value at the moment. Probably going to check VWAP and flow zones. Did not sweep there. No sweep of overnight low. Did ES sweep? No sweep on ES either. ES very, very strong off that pivot. Much, much stronger, being aggressively push up right now. So I'd still like to see this trade lower first before we go higher. That's my game plan today. I want bears stuck in this. I don't really want them to protect that low down there. I'd like them to wash deeper. But ES looking pretty strong there off that pullback into that pre-market low level this morning. 9 o'clock absorbing, and 10 and this sort of 9:30 bar also absorbing on the spiders at that pre-market low. But I would like to see NQ move lower first. I want bears trapped in this. Maybe there's no need, but it's definitely not A plus if we don't sweep everything first. So I'd like to see this sell off a bit deeper first before we go upside. I want bears stuck in it before we go upside. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit more tricky to trade, but we'll trade what we get. I'd really like this swept before we trade up. That's what I'm looking for. You notice a big difference between today and yesterday. Today, very obviously, was going to rip upside for me. Today, less obvious. More likely that we need to build out liquidity to do that move. ES about to break pre-market high here. 777.75. And then you've got previous day high. So if you're watching the spiders, 6721.21, and you'll be looking for a breakout or fail breakout there. Remember, if you're trading ES and SPY, you're in supply. You are stuck right in that 7-day balance range right now. All right, it's not a great long location, which is why we want to move lower first, trap bears, and then we can scoop cheap to get back upside. That's the preferable play here. Apple green, Amazon green, Meta green, Microsoft green. Week 1 today is Goog. Come on, come down. Let's set a bear trap. Come on. Please don't just squeeze up straight away in this morning. You're going to give me nothing to play with if you do that. Testing that New York VWAP and previous day value area low. So far, look below previous day value area low has failed. We would like this to trade under Globex. Just go and clean all of that up. If they keep bidding here and they go upside, it's going to be very, very, well, it's not going to be crazy hard to join, but it's going to make it harder to join. We'd like this to fail and clean up Globex. ES back to PDC and VWAP. All right, so ES has relative strength. It failed its highs there by, I don't know, 3 ticks. And they're still trying to absorb on PDC. On the ES. Morning all, morning Christy. Morning, 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 morning. Nice and patient. We want this to trade lower first. That's what we'd like. So that we can trap everyone. That's what we'd like. ES still holding that print. It looks very strong. Going to go for these highs here at 777.75 by the looks of it. It's very close, 3 ticks away. They're trying to squeeze it up. I'd be somewhat cautious if they take this and then fail. If they take this and go for a squeeze, then you've got previous day high at 783 on ES if you're already long on that. And that's the better asset so far this morning for sure. Structurally, it looks much better. NQ, not so good, just really dancing in the overnight range, dancing at previous day's value area low. Failed look below that, but didn't clean up Globex. We did not clean up Globex. Any news today? There's a little bit of light Fed talk, and that is just about it. There's nothing major today. I'm going to double check that, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, nothing. Nothing scheduled. I'm sure stuff will happen. You know who's going to start talking. You can't love your own voice that much and not talk. Slow morning, yeah, slow morning RSG. I mean, we expect it. Look at the size of the move yesterday. Think about where we broke out of previous week's value. What we'd like today is that second leg pullback, build the liquidity, and then we can think about what's what. All right, so you'll notice I was, open for this happening today. I'd like this to happen today. I'm happy not to trade at all today and build out a ton more liquidity because it means Wednesday, Thursday will be way better. Way better. If we just keep going up, 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 it gets harder and harder to join if we don't build enough shorts into it. Here goes ES going for that break. It's trying. It needs to trade 777.75. So far it's traded 777.50. So all the stops are at .75 from pre-market. If it trades through that, maybe it tests previous day high. See how no clicking buttons. Just waiting. So far today, what have you done? You've got 48 point of range. We would love this to trade lower. This would be really good. If it would trade low, if it would be polite and trade lower, it would be really good. Yes, not looking like it wants to, but it would be great if NQ would do that and clean everything up. These are the kind of days where you got to be patient, folks. Guarantee you, there's a ton of people who've already blown up their accounts. Long at the open, not realizing it needs to build out liquidity. Short at the lows, getting stuck in the rotation. No confirmation of anything right now. All you got to do is zoom out. All you have to do is zoom out. Right. There's the breakdown. There's the absorption. We'd love to come down here or anywhere in here. And I'm not looking for this short. I'm looking for this leg to end. I'm looking for 1, 2 to end to bid back up. But it's possible we come and clean up Globex and lower. Very, very possible. It is somewhat thin under Globex. Okay, this is looking better. So if you are in these shorts, you are looking better, but you better be paying yourself towards these lows. Right, there is no guarantee that they break down. You can see 250 on the book. If you're in these shorts, you look good right now. I would love to see this just melt off for you. It'd be fantastic. And then I can play the other side of it from you guys. All right, here comes Globex. Very, very, very close to taking Globex here. I'd love to see a wash aggressively under Globex for you guys. Here's Globex, a TP1 now hit if you're in this short. And let's see if they can melt back down. All right, we are thin structure in here. There was a little stop start here yesterday from sort of 250 to 180. If they really melt, we can come all the way down to 150, 100s, which would be great. This is what we'd like to see. Okay, so congrats all that they're in these shorts that took these. This is what we expect, at least this to be washed. Now, a bear trap can live somewhere in here, all right? So you're fine to stay short. Just make sure you're paying yourself, move your stop, and just let it drift down. Do not start getting short into these areas, because somewhere here I expect them to start turning. Looks good for you guys so far. Anyone that took that, you look good so far. Make sure this matches. Come on, Ninja Trader, make this blue for me. There you go. Okay, nice pullback so far. Think about the hourlies, starting to reprice some of these hourlies yesterday where we squeezed aggressively. That old wick 180s. All right. Morning, Foster Scott. So we're seeing what we want to see. This is great. ES joining the party here. So you've got that downside move. I'd like to see a little bit more. You can see very heavy volume, very heavy sell delta. And if we start turning inside, they can set the trap down here. I'd like it a bit deeper first, but we will see. But we know somewhere down here, anywhere from here all the way down to 150, basically, anywhere from 250 to 150, they can set a bear trap. Because I'm just expecting this second leg at some point to finish. We might need to wait for the new H1 for that bear trap, but that's kind of what we're expecting. We're already starting to see it trade inside. All right, I'm in this long now for a scalp back up to VWAP, and if they send it, they send it. Not going to sit and wait. Stop already moved in the money. So that delta, like we just talked about, big selling at the lows there. Here's VWAP coming up here for me. I'm going to take a little bit off in front of this. Let's see if we can get back through. Stops in the money. If they reflush it, that's fine. I know I'm early. I know I'm playing the reversal, but I'm looking for this bear trap somewhere around here. Locking in a couple $100 there no matter what. Okay, restopped out here. Let's see if they can go lower, and I'll have another attempt if and when it's ready. So bears will need a break of this low. You can see where they got trapped there. They will need a break of this low. Like I said, anywhere in here, I think, is where a bear trap will be. Ideally, we see like something like this. Might be that we come all the way down today, and we use today as one of these. All right. Those in Discord, make sure you look at the pathing I give you. It gives you an edge into what we're looking at today. So pop's being sold into. That's pretty good from sellers. Impressive there. Retesting this low. Retesting this low. Spiders can come and clean up here, actually. Let me just have a look. Spiders can come and clean up 670s. So you can see their bids keep coming in here. We had Delta there again. All right, Delta there again. They're trying to protect this area. They're interested in this 520s, 530 level. There you go, squeeze up again. Definite interest here of buyers. I'd like an aggressive move lower at this point before I think about it. Let's really trap a ton of bears in if we can. So give you a readout on the MAG Tesla. Oh, don't do it now. Don't do it now. Just a little internal sweep. You nasty bugger. 30s, 180s. To let this build out a bit more. We are under yesterday's value. There's VWAP up here. See if they reject this or reclaim. You've got a complete mixed bag in the Mag 7. So Tesla and Nvidia both 0.70% down. Google 1.21% down. Microsoft pretty much flat. Meta 30% up. Amazon strong 1.78% up. So think about that. We're having a down day on the Qs and Amazon's up. Relative strength in Amazon is what I've been looking for. Apple also up again. New all-time highs. VIX finding a bid here as well, folks. Come on, lower, lower, lower at this point. Let's just wash heavy and then pick me up. Nice and cheap at the edge. What's that Globex level from yesterday? 150. 150, 180 looks interesting. Down here. Let's have a look. Are there any orders underneath? Why is it telling me, why have I got a money thing? Get out of it. Get out of it. All right, some bigger boys down here at 200 and 190 right now. VIX starting to get going here. Breaking pre-market highs here. I'm watching to see if spiders clean up 670. One thing we need to be aware of is SPY/ES is getting absolutely battered in the 7-day balance range of supply. So the strength in Qs, it might take like a session or two to come back. The reversal does not have to happen today. They can build out a ton of liquidity pool all the way back today. It's very, very possible. I do think we will make new all-time highs this week, but we will need that liquidity being built. So there's not much follow through here yet from the bears. I want to see this 200 and 187 level check because we've got a big bidder down there, passive bidder. So 200 lot sell came in there at 225, still holding that level for now. You got paired off. 232 lot came in the other side on the buy side. They're still trying to absorb this buy side at the moment. They're trying to absorb it buy side. Here comes the squeeze. You can see big buyers coming in, stepping in, trying to push us back up here. Now, do they get slapped where we just broke down? That last buyer got stuck into sort of 250, 260 range. Thank you, darling. So underneath Globex right now, that kind of range. ES finding some absorption. ES did not clean out, or ES did and spiders didn't. Okay, divergence there. Might need a bit more of a shakeout here. Back to Globex we go. This is the level we just failed from the last 2 attempts up here. This is where sellers have been hanging out. No passive selling here. You just want to see if we step on the tape here, these buyers, and go for that shove back up to previous day value area low or not, and VWAP. Here's the shove up. There's VWAP. All right. Taking another partial here, locking some more money in. Now, this pullback will need to hold the 40s. If they start holding 40s, we're going to look for rotation higher. It's starting to look better and better and better here. ES still under its VWAP. Be aware of that. Divergence to ES like we talked about. They will need to hold 40s here. Failing to hold 40s here will just be a bull trap above that old high of 62, and they'll sell this back down. So I'm being very, very cautious here as I bid on these, taking money off each and every shove up, because this is how it works. When bears get trapped, it can take a little moment to settle down, and there's no guarantee that we don't move lower first. When I look at these the SPY, no guarantee here. But if we start seeing a higher low versus this, we saw big buyers step in the tape here. All right, so you had delta in this candle at the lows, sell, and then we stepped in. Look at the buy orders that came back in the other side. If we set a higher low here, we're going to come and attempt to trade into previous day value area low. If we trade through that and get acceptance, we're going to go back upside for previous day value area high if they turn the buys on. No guarantee yet. Flow in this session so far is downside. I do want to make that clear. It's worth noting. We're in liquidity building. We're in a trending market to the downside in the New York session. Right, order flow in the New York session is this. I'm just trying to play this edge because I know somewhere in here, all right, is where a bear trap's going to live. So I'm trying to have little goes at this just in case I can get an early one for this. Here we go, folks. Here's VWAP, previous day value area low, next target. So if we get acceptance through here, previous day value area low, next target. If we get through that, then we can look at those sort of VWAPs above. There's still lots of buyers way, way lower at 200 that we need to be aware of. And if we get going, we're going to look for sort of 85, 300, and see if we can get acceptance into the old previous day's value area range. Here we go. So you can see why I was looking for this today. Hopefully it makes sense to you. It's just experience on the charts of knowing where the bear traps live. Here we go. Come on, let's get some acceptance here. Let's get some acceptance here. Really nice, starting to look like a potential quasi. As long as they protect this down here, we look good. As long as they protect this down here, right, this feels very trappy down here. And this is TP1 because we know this is a big target. You should have paid yourself here. We're paying ourselves here. If we get acceptance above this, we're looking for New York. Here we go, folks. All planned out for you pre-market. I gave this all to you where I was looking. There was a reason I wasn't personally looking for the short today. They can still stuff this level as we come into value. All right. If the sellers from yesterday like, no way, man, we're doing a full rotation, they will stuff this and try and get a new low. So that's why we're being very cautious as we trade into this. You must be paying yourselves. We're in a rotating market in this session and overnight and yesterday. Understand that. If they don't hold, 40s, they'll take the runners off. I already paid myself, like I said. You want to see them hold 40s. If they fail 40s, you've got some buying stacking up here at 25,200 and 175. The only thing I'd say is ES has got a bit of unfinished business lower. Well, SPY definitely has. Starting to look good. They're trying to protect this level. Right, think about this level in here. This is where sellers got stuck. Sellers got stuck. This is where we turn the buying on. So we want to see more buying come in here. You want to see buying come in here for this, this, and this, ideally. If buying doesn't come in here, there will be a collapse. Here's the test of it. They don't hold 43s. I'll be out. Already paid myself on that move. There, I'm out there. So out on that flush. So I'm not going to sit through this. Like I said, I know I'm trying to time this. And if those buyers don't get their way, they get flushed. So see money, take money environment. Still protecting the lows, which is impressive. But I'll let this shake out again. Very much like the last one. Like I said, SPY has got unfinished business. It's the one thing I'd say the spiders have unfinished business at 670.14. I don't know when the momentum comes back in, Peter. It depends on when they finish building the liquidity. All right. Think about this. All right, this is our H1. Think about what we've done. Effectively set a W, and we broke out from it yesterday. We can't just keep going straight. So leg one, leg two. This is an area of interest. Anywhere in here can be a bear trap. This area here should be protected by buyers to go back to the highs. Failing of this, we go and check value. All right, so that's what I'd be looking for. Liquidity to be built out here, 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 here. This needs to build out liquidity if we're going to go higher. We cannot just go straight up. All right, we don't move straight up. So the pullbacks today, we're looking to see maybe today, like we talked about in Discord, we just do this. It's very possible they build a huge amount of liquidity today and use it tomorrow. They don't have to go upside today. They can just go in rotation today. What I know is I like the pro trends, so I'm looking to join when I think bears are stuck in a market which probably wants to move higher. ES getting close. Here we go. So Spider's got that unfinished business. We're almost there. 670.15-ish is the unfinished business. There's some sweeps there that it can take. We're trading 670.25 on the SPY right now. One little shove down would be nice if they snap that low on SPY, and then I know we've at least finished the stop run. Like we said, order flow is bearish. It is worth noting. All right, everything here is in a sell. I'm just trying to time that pro trend leg. Did we sweep that yet on SPY? Still no sweep on SPY. Double bottom there on SPY. Need to sweep that little wick underneath initial balance low for me. At sort of 15, 16s. We tapped it, didn't sweep it. Come on, SPY, you got to trade under it. Come and clean these levels up. SPY protecting those levels at the moment, which is a bit annoying. Your opening range now set, folks. You're back testing now. Your opening range. Those of you who are opening range traders, here's your white line. All right, you will need failures for that push down. Otherwise, you come back into that opening range. Remember, today I am looking for longs. I'm looking for dip longs today. Share order flow window. What do you mean? It's above me. Welcome to the channel. Is that the first thing you're going to say? Just dictate what I do for you. So lots of buyers hanging out here. Passive buyers at 25,200 and 25,175. No acceptance underneath the opening range so far. SPY still hasn't cleaned up those wicks, right? What I'm looking for is on the spiders, on the cash market, it's got a protected low right here. I'm looking to clean this up. I'm looking for bears to come and take breakout shorts under here. All right, we actually have a double bottom. That did not clean this up. That's just a bad line for me. But if you look, we have not traded through it. Right, I want to see something like this if I'm going to get long at this point. Otherwise, if we build out a balance range here and fail and retest, then the rotation is possible. But until that point, my edges are bullish moves on bear traps. It's just when do they stop? Amazon now 2% up. Man, come back. Come back to me. I want to add size on. Did anyone on Discord take that? We talked about it yesterday, adding on dips there. Had good conviction for this. I am already in it. I just want a bit more size on in the run up into earnings. Morning, Greg. Morning, morning, morning. This level here is of interest. I'll mark this out. There was a stop start here yesterday as well. All right, SPY clean that up. Okay, SPY has now cleaned that up, which is good. All right, so if SPY wants to trap, this is where it can start to trap. VIX is still going here, folks, by the way. VIX is having a push, so it's worth noting. VIX is having a push. We've still got these passive buys underneath us. You can see them on the book. 25.2, right here, 25.2, 25.175. Big order as well as down at 25.100. I don't expect we'll come down there today. It would be really nice if we would. I don't expect we will. So still underneath that opening range. Technically, you're in a sell in the New York session. I know I've been looking for the longs, but technically you are in a sell in the New York session. Here's back to the opening range again. Still got these big buyers to be filled down here. Passive buyers into 200 and 175. Previous week high will be 179. All right, this is your previous week high. This is your high time from algo. This is where we have stronger volume. All right, so we're repricing yesterday's squeeze up at the moment. If you're in this short, you still look good outside that opening range. It's not a trade I want to take today. Just looking for that momentum shift to come the other way. It might be that it never comes and I close my day at 400 bucks. That's also okay. A little bit of spoofing above on the offer. This guy can't make his mind up what he's doing up here. Juggling around, looking to get filled. Come on, come lower. Come and fill all these guys. Come and fill all these guys. So they're lifting the offers now. That guy's playing games. All right, so you can see here, he was offering at like 70, 60, 50, 37, 25-ish, then moved back to 37 and 25, and then 37 and 25, and then 37 and 25, and then 50. And it came up to him and he just lifted it all. He was like, no, 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 you can keep coming higher. So he's not a legit seller, that guy. No way, no way, no way is he legit selling. Look, he's doing it again. He's trying to offer above 250. He's not legit. All right, he keeps lifting the offer, which makes me think he is a buyer in the market, trying to use this liquidity for it to come and grab and get them trapped. Raf going to 200. Raf, was it you that won yesterday, Raf? I didn't get your email. I didn't get your email. All right, VIX getting rejected in supply here into 1890. Well, they are manipulating the market, Herbs. Yeah, so if they lift the offer, if it looks like a wall and a wall and a wall, and people are selling in front of that, and then they lift it, we go through it, right? Suddenly there's nothing there to hold it down. So that's how liquidity really works. So lots of buying, passive buying starting to be seen here. Now they're trying to walk it up. So you've seen like there's a new bid just come on the tape here at 220, and he's now pulled as well. Lots of games here this morning, folks. He didn't want to get filled there at 220 either. There's a big market order there. Lots of passive buying all the way down to 180. From 210 to 180, lots of passive buying right now. 180 is the previous week high. If sellers don't get their way down there, there's only one way we go. There's that last stop. 40s and 50s. 40s and 50s. Here we go. Are they going to test these 40s and 50s? This is where they last stuffed it. Yep. Okay. You got any more in you? I'm in this. Let's go then. Lift off. Let's go back towards VWAP. Globex, nice. Locked a little bit in here. Like I said, I'm going to be very, very careful here because I know we're in rotation. So I took that from 30, just a scalp, up to 50. Another 20 points locked in. Just little base hits, base hits, base hits, base hits. Stronger buying here on the tape. Now, where they last got stuffed was up here into 40s to 70s. That's where we're trading now, which is Globex and VWAP right now. New H1 candle here. Let me have a look. Did we sweep the H1 low? No, we didn't. Okay, don't like that. We did do it on ES. All right, we've got divergence where ES swept the H1 low, which is good. That's what you'd look for before a reversal, is a sweep of that low, a trap of the low. Unfortunately, we didn't do it on NQ. All right, so ES, what ES did is into the new candle, came under here, turned inside. It's always a good sign on that H1. Starting to time this out now. Looking good here into VWAP. Okay, are we going to get acceptance through this now? They can still stuff this and come lower, remember. They can still stuff this and come lower. This is the average price of market participants today, right here, right now. Herbs, yeah. I mean, I'm long Apple from 202s. I'm long AMD from 158s, and I'm now up on Amazon. I think I'm at 218 average on Amazon, unfortunately. Wanted to add a bit more on any flush. Okay, starting to see these buyers come back in here. So want to see if they hold that sort of opening range and above now. And if they do, then we can bid off. It's still very early, but, you know, we're looking for that bear trap. So if we can start putting in a higher low here, I'm interested. Any higher low here followed by a higher high, then we can think about rotation back into value. Failing here, won't touch it, and we'd see a new wash down. We've got all these buyers at 200s here down to 180. Here is a cluster of like 400 lot. So if they come off the book and they start getting filled here, that'd be a sign of everyone starting to cover. So far we're holding here. Structure's still bearish. Okay, structure's still bearish, but we're looking for this two leg to end at some point. I want to see if Microsoft can go red to green. So weakest one today is Goog, 1.60% down. Nvidia, 1.37% down. Tesla, 0.79% down. I'm seeing all of this as nothing more than a pullback. It's just when does it end? Timing these is really, really, really tricky. So I've just been playing the squeezes up, just one account at a time. VIX getting stuffed there again in front of 19. It cannot reclaim 1990 right now. Hasn't even got up to 19. Keeps getting stuffed every approach. Worth noting. Spiders did just fail VWAP on the ETF market. All right, so we're under all the VWAPs on the ETFs. Worth noting, we're in a sell. Strength is with the sellers so far. Timing these bottoms will not be easy. And we might not put one in today. Remember, we might just go in a rotation and drift. You don't have to play it the same way as me. It is offering, flow zones are offering sales here. I'm going to be honest with you. All right, the flow zones are offering bearish structure here and offering sales back down. They are. They absolutely are. I almost want these buyers all filled down here at this point. I'm flat again, by the way, folks. Probably should have said that. And that last push to view up. ES back to view up. SPY back to view up. You'd like Softy to find a bid here. Meta is almost red to green. If Softy can find a bid, that will help. Yeah, I mean, Tyre, we expect an inside day today, don't we? After a big push. So if we expect that inside day, if you don't like trading those kind of days, and they're hard to trade, we're not in a trend day, then they're good to sit out. I mean, this is what I expected today. I expected this pullback. We've probably completed about 50% on the daily on that pullback now. Have a quick look. Measure this out from the low. Low. There's that high. So pullback can come into 70. Will be 50% pullback on the daily. Very possible 170s. That'll be from previous day low to current day high, or high of week. So low week to high of week. A 50% pullback will be into 170. Somewhere around there we might stop. Remember, that is the start of demand right down here right now. These sellers are not getting their way at the moment. We're starting to build out more liquidity. They need a flush, these sellers, to become comfortable. They're not getting it. They are not getting it. They will be attacking all this liquidity down here. They want to get into 200, 180, 170. That's what they will want. If they don't get it, they're going to get very upset. Once you pass funding ticks eval, what do you have to do to get your funded account? I think they're trying to remember. They email you. There's like some doc to sign. They're based in Dubai, so they should be open right now. So you'll probably get an email from them, and it'll be done in the next 24 hours. There's like some doc to sign, and you've got to link it to Rise, and then that's it. Sellers still not getting that flush they are looking for. SPY still rejecting VWAP. QQQ not at its VWAP yet. Cash still rejecting VWAP, but sellers are not getting that flush they're looking for. They are looking for a nasty flush here. They keep building and building and building into this. If they don't get it soon, they're going to get themselves caught. They'll be looking for a break of the lows and a flush down to that previous week high. If they don't get it, they're going to get caught. Let's just see. Like I said, flat, waiting for this like sort of finish developing here. This is previous week high. This right here. This is higher time frame algo. We are currently building liquidity between. Where's my lower time frame algo? He's around somewhere. Here. There we go. This is your liquidity building phase. This to this. All right. This is where the market loves to rotate between these two algos. ES banging on New York VWAP. SPY still cannot get over its cash VWAP. If it starts getting over cash VWAP, it can go back up to PDC, and they will start getting squeezed out these shorts. They're going to start getting squeezed out here. If they can't find that acceptance lower, they're going to get themselves hurt. Here comes VWAP again. So VWAP being tested here. So far, every time we've approached this today, they've sold it. If they let this through, oof. Here we go. Here we go. Here's Globex. Woof. They're getting themselves caught again. ES into VWAP. So there are scalp trades here to be had. Not much more than that. I mean, our current range on the day is 93 points. It's not bad, to be honest, but that's what we're playing with. It's all we've got. This is where we failed from. Okay, so just think about this edge. Look left. This is where we failed from. This was the flush. Reclaim this. We're going to go back into volume. Let's put some volume on, speaking of that. All right, that's your rotation and value on the day. Here's VWAP again. Remember, this is where we failed from. It's what they're going to keep retesting and retesting and retesting. If we get acceptance through this, there's a squeeze to previous day value area low. We come and test yesterday's value. If we get inside previous day's value area low, we're going to go for previous day value area high. But first of all, it's got to get through Globex and VWAP. We've not done that yet successfully today. So this could be a two-leg where they just fail it all the way back down. Very, very possible. This is just sort of over-under, this VWAP and Globex today. Definitely an over-under. Very efficient market so far, I'd say, this morning. But I would say if we get through VWAP and Globex, there's probably a move into 76s. And if we get through there, they'd have to really turn it on. All right, let's see if this mag's going to start turning here. Meta's trying to go red to green there. It's trying. Microsoft's not too far away, just under 0.25% away. So you can see they're trying to curl. All right. Oh, they're trying to curl. Would have liked a bit more excess down here, but they're trying to curl. Oh, Tradeify, come on. They're trying to curl. If they get through this, they're going to slingshot to this. If they get through this, this would be the next test up here. All right, if they get through, that would be the next test. Looking good here, folks. Looking good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Here we go. Scalp some out on the way here. We don't know if it will complete a full rotation. You're fine to scalp some out. Lovely. Can we get up to that previous day value? So Bear's not getting that breakdown that they want. Remember, I just see this as a higher time frame pullback, a second leg. If we zoom out here, it's like a 5-minute chart. Think about the legs here. Impulse drive higher. 1, 2. The moment this finishes, whether it's here or here, we're looking for the return. Okay. So back to current value on the day. No acceptance above current value on the day. If we get acceptance above current value, we go and test previous day's value area low. Make sure you are scalping out. We're in liquidity building phase. You should not be holding for a 2, 3, 4, 500 point day right now. We're not breaking out. We're not in that kind of territory. If it goes, it goes. Fantastic. But, you know, we're going to be sensible people. Oh, here we go. Come on, buyers. Lots of market buyers coming in here. Want to be careful, but if we break here, we should get a nice squeeze. Here they come. They're flying into the tape here at the moment. Don't want too many of them to come in or they get stuck. Yeah, big exchange up here into 65s. Big, big, big exchange. And you got to think these shorts are starting to panic. Here's PDC on ES. So that's another TP for you if you're trading ES. Really nice. I think Foster Scott's long in this on the ES. Lots of you should have made some money here with me. I know it's a harder trading day today. This isn't everyone's cup of tea. But it's there when you learn how to trade it. Here we go. Here we go. Previous day value area low now being gut checked. And 24-hour VWAP. And if we get through that, we're really going to start motoring. So TP2 here now for you guys. ES through its gap. Meta gone red to green like we were talking about. Boom! TP2 hit. Let's go, folks. Let's go. He's done it again. He's done it again. He's done it again for you guys. VIX getting absolutely smacked back down into its gap. So VIX going for a gap fill lower now. It failed those 19s like we talked about. 1890, it couldn't get through it, and it's just been hammered back down into its gap. So TP2 here. And if we're really going to go, we're going to go to that open print. Here we go. They are turning this on right now. Big, big market buyers coming in, which is probably shorts getting squeezed out, to be honest. You cannot be joining up here, or you got to let this settle down. Remember, we're long from down here for this rotation. We're long from down there for this rotation. So can we find acceptance inside previous day's value now? Really nice. Really nice from ES. Really nice from ES. So just down to runners. W's in chat if you caught any of this with me. I know it's a harder trade, but hopefully I made it clear today what I was looking for and why. Some offers up here into 290 now. 290, 300, above that 325. Come on, baby. Let's go all the way up. I'm telling you. Feeling a little bit exhaustive up here. Lots of buying coming in here. They might require a pullback. This was a decent move off the lows. It's like, I don't know, 70, 80 points off those lows. A decent move. Getting stuck at where? Lower time frame algo. All right, we're getting stuck at the lower time frame algo. If we can get through him, we can come back up here. So our opening print, sort of 300 will be the target today. 300, if we get through that point of control and previous day's value area high, that's just back into the old range. But this was a good drive out. Lots of bulls would have chased this at the highs. Remember, we don't do that. We're buying dips today for the rotation. Who got this with me then? Peter got it with me. Raf got it with me. Troy, BU, One-on-One, Golf, JJ, Red Don, Tonio, Calypso, Ulila, Foster Scott, Info Risk, Array, Caesar, Camus, RSJ. Love it. Love it, folks. Let's see if we can squeeze up to this New York Open if we get lucky. If we get through that, we're going to look for like previous day point of control and previous day value area high if they really turn it on here. Amazon, you got to slow down, Amazon. I want to get some more size in you. You need to be slowing down, Mr. Amazon. All right, ES now just wicked out of all of its highs, so ran all the sell stops at the highs, pulling back now on the ES since doing that. So it's completed its move to the highs. VIX trying to find a bid into that gap, just filled its gap pretty much. I'd like one more shove up here after a pullback on NQ, but it doesn't have to. We're where? About midpoint of the opening range right now. It doesn't have to. It's done some good damage today. Decent damage on this move. It paid us. That's all that matters. In a rotational day, we just want to get paid, don't we? We scalp out and we want to get paid. Did too many bulls come flying in here? You know, if too many bulls came flying in here, which it does look like, it can stop them out. And if there's way too many, it can come all the way back down. So back underneath the previous day value. No acceptance into yesterday's value yet. We got up there, but we didn't hold it. So can we get back through it? Here's VWAP test. Can we get back through previous day value and VWAP? If we get back through that, I'm not going to rule out New York Open and above. If we keep failing up here, then those bulls are going to get liquidated, I would say. Oh, lots more of you got it. Nice. Laid back got it. Jesse, Alibaba, Daniel, Charles, ONJ. Last 5 days I've been watching all wins. Thank you, man. Nice, Camus. Black Window. Okay, they're failing to reclaim previous day value area low here and VWAP. So back down into the New York VWAP and Globex. These bulls might get liquidated here because they're not taking money off in the high. So lots of bulls came in at the high. Remember, there's still bids or way down if they liquidate them. ES did just swipe all the highs out. So a lot more back and forth. More liquidity to be built now. More liquidity to be built now. Miguel got it. Nice. Sorry, just catching up here. Greg got it. Richard got it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So back to VWAP. So no acceptance right now above previous day's value. Lots of bulls have come flying in here. They've been caught, right? We were buying from here to here. They've now been caught. Do more bulls, higher time frame bulls, come in here and look for the rotation, or have we just got an exit and now are they now coming back down for this area? I don't know, but we've had our trade. All I know is we've had our trade. We've made our money. We wait for the next setup now while they make their decisions. It looks like those bulls just got themselves absolutely clapped up there, doesn't it? Chasing in as ever. Do they ever learn? Do the chasers in the market ever learn? Apparently not. So might come back for these 200s now. Let's see. 25,200, 25,175. Still on the book down here if they're going to go for it. So bulls chased up here. They become the liquidity. You can see them right here. They become the liquidity as we trade back down towards the lows. And we're in a tightening range of value right now. ES still absorbing off its key level. It's really interesting that the structure on ES is actually much better now for upside. The structure on NQ is better for downside. We'll have to see. Back to the opening range low. Oh, do they sell VWAP here? What are the Mac doing? Tesla 0.5% down, Nvidia 1.20% down, Microsoft 0.25% down, Google 1.85% down. That's the weak one today. Amazon 2.5% up. Oof. ES just back testing where it broke out from. So structure on ES looks bullish so far. No let go of that structure. NQ, I couldn't say the same thing for NQ right now. It looks pretty ugly to me. Or maybe they come and clear out these 200s and 175s before they think about anything next. There's the 20s, 220s. It's going to need ES to roll with it if it's going to do this. Big selling coming in here trying to fill those 200s. Big selling coming in here trying to fill those 200s. Remember, this is where sellers get trapped. If they don't get that rotation, you have divergence to ES right now. ES is still absorbing. VIX finding a bid after filling its gap. They want the 200s here. That's what they're looking for. They're looking to fill those 200s and then 175 and down. Do they fill him there? No, still not filled. 200s, 175, and then previous week high is 180. Still not filled that 200. So 275 lot there looking to get filled. So really nice traps both sides today. Trap the bears, rip back up. Trap the bulls, dump back down. Really nice both sides. Really nice both sides. This is what I mean. Rotating market is what we expect in inside bars. ES still protecting that low. You'd expect NQ would try one more shove down right now. It should drift up and try one more shove, but it did just sweep everyone. And we did just catch a delta down there. But let's see. I would expect one more shove down. Where are they stacking the cells? 37s. So just inside of that orb by the looks of it. Lots and lots of selling down here. If these guys get caught, we go back upside, squeeze them out again. You can see all this market selling down here. These guys get caught, I'd say above 250, we squeeze them out again and go straight back rotation upside and then rinse, repeat until one side is fully stuck. Initial balance now set as well, by the way, folks. So drifting into this 37, so 127 lot. They're trying to see if this guy wants to be filled here. Let's see if he gets filled or if he lifts. There's your opening range. Didn't quite fill him, so front running him. They're front running him. Back towards these 200s. Still not filled this seller at 37. So we're trapped between 37 and 200. 237 and 200. That's the kind of where they're pinning in at the moment, trying to make their decision. ES still protecting its low. So you've got divergence. We had a new low day on NQ, not a new low day on ES. Still trying to fill this guy at 37s. They're still unable to fill him. And they still haven't filled this player down at 200s. We did have a bid lift in front of 200. Lots of games going on down here while they make that next decision. They will make a decision here, folks. No doubt about it. Someone's going to get caught here very soon. Just watching the order flow here. They've like stopped. They're all a bit trapped here at the moment in this pin. 37 to 200. If ES starts breaking down, you're going to get a new low day. If they keep absorbing on ES here, we should fill this 37 player and then just see if they get acceptance back into that opening range, which would be a failed breakout of the low, back into the open range, back into midpoint probably if they do that. If ES sells back down to its IB low, then we can come and clean up the 200s potentially. Potentially. Won't guarantee it though. They should try and clean up these 200s really. Yeah, VIX filled that gap. That double bottom is a gap fill if you look at the overnight gap. All right, here we go. Can they get that follow through down to the 200s now and then that 178? 180, let's call it. All right, there's your IB low. There's the 200s. Still not filled that player at 200. Once we fill him, we should go 175. What's a 180, 175, which is previous week high. And then the big demand down there. So I'd say 180 to 150 is a big demand block. And it's another area I'll be interested in if we can come down there. Really? They're really not going to fill these guys? Come on. You've done this all morning. I don't want to play back upside any more times now if you're not going to fill them. If you're not going to fill them. The range rotation continues. The range rotation continues. I don't think there's enough excess on this right now. I am bullish overall. Remember, I am looking in these areas for bullish moves. But at this point, I feel that they've got enough bulls trapped. I'd like to see a bigger flush back down into sort of 180-ish out of preference. ES might want to revisit its VWAP first. Maybe NQ does the same. So let's see this 37. If they fill 37, we might drift to 250 and then see if they sell that or not. If not, then not really interested. Unless we can sort of get a bit heavier here, I'm not really interested in buying it. Not right now, because now we've got lots and lots of bulls who haven't been smart like us and taking profit off the table. And those bulls can become liquidity for a bigger move. You've got major divergence. So NQ made a new low. ES did not make a new low. Nice, Greg. Just bought the course as the last trade pay for it. Nice. There we go. Okay, so like we said, here are 37s. Player here at 37s. 128 lot. He's reloading on the offer here. If they squeeze him, we go 250s and VWAP. If this guy holds firm, then they're going to try and retest that low again. ES back to VWAP like we just talked about. Probably wants to gut check VWAP. That's what you're seeing right now. So 37's filled. So maybe VWAP here. Back into that opening range. So far, fail break below the opening range. Give me one sec, folks. There we go. Sorry, team. I can just hear music bleeding out from next door. Okay, failure below. Back towards VWAP now. Liquidity being built here. All right, liquidity being built here. Fail above, fail below, liquidity build area. That's the area right now. Back to VWAP, like we talked about. So 50's coming. ES doing the same thing. VIX filling that gap. You have another go on MES? Yeah, I'm not ready yet to have another go on NQ. Made good money already. I want to see it pull back and hold now if we're going to look for that move. You want to see that pull back and hold into 30s if we're going to play that move. I don't like that they left those 200s. We came very, very close. Yeah, ES looks better for sure out of the two. ES looks way stronger out of the two. Okay, back to VWAP, back to Globex. Here's Globex, back to the 50s like we just talked about. Pullbacks now will need to hold 30s for acceptance. If we're going to go top side of the range, we're looking to rotate through 67s, and then we have to see if there's any acceptance outside of current value. So back up to fill this imbalance where we just failed from, which was 67s. Nice. Watching ES. Watch ES into PDC here. It's a big level. Nice drive here. Maybe now they're ready to do it. Well, I'm going to have to wait here. Didn't want to take it because we didn't fill those participants lower, which is annoying. But we might just be about to turn it on here if they can find a higher low. Moment we're just feeling up to this node here. You can see this node here. It's a bit thicker. Turn this down last week, didn't I? All right, clear node here. This is what we're selling so far. So they're selling this node. They might rotate back to POC, which is 40 if they do. Caesar, you're getting muted, mate, because you're talking absolute nonsense. There's nothing bullish about gold right now. I just had to check that to see if you're actually helping the chat, and you are clearly not helping the chat. You're just being a bit of a wally like you were last week. So you got 5 minutes to calm yourself down. Okay, let's see if they hold a pullback. What I don't like is that we left that liquidity. All right, we had a big buyer resting in this zone here. It would have been nice to see us fill him. If we hold this level here, then maybe we go back rotation. But you've got to be careful because we're nothing more. All this is saying to me is we're in a range. Fail breakout, range rotation, build liquidity. All right, we've traded today from here to here. Some of you have traded here to here. If we get expansion of range, great. I mean, the better move today, like we talked about, we're looking for dips to trade upside. The only thing that has me slightly is that we didn't fill all that liquidity lower. But ES is starting to really get gunning now. Let's have a readout on the book. Tesla now just 0.5% down. Nvidia 1.18% down. Microsoft 0.25% down. Meta 0.13% up. Google 1.5% down. Amazon 2.40% down. Apple basically 0.5% up. This is starting to find acceptance for higher prices now. All right, so this level here is key. If we get through current value and VWAP, then we trade 80s, then we trade New York, then we close gap, and then we see what keeps going. Well, sorry, like he has to get muted. I mean, I talked about it on Thursday or Friday last week. There will be new people in this chat who will take, unfortunately, the way lots of traders work is they hear someone say buy something and they do it. And they hear someone like a new trader sell something and they do it. If you just got told, oh, gold's really bullish and you didn't look and you're trading off your phone and you press buy, you just got absolutely annihilated. Like, I'm not playing games with people like that. You did the same last week. All right, I made my point last week. He was calling for a massive breakdown. What did we do? We closed at the high of week. Point made. Point made. I'm not going to tolerate people coming in here. I don't know whether it's trolling or trying to trap young traders who don't know what they're doing, but I'm not going to tolerate it. This is for education and entertainment purposes. I'm very serious about helping you guys learn to trade. I'm not going to have someone talking absolute nonsense. Yeah, VIX breaking down here. Thanks, Coot. Yeah, just broke lower day. We look good for upside squeeze if we can build out liquidity. The only thing is a gut check down here would be really nice. That would be really nice, but we're building more liquidity out here at the highs here. We're right on POC. It's not ideal. But those cheap buys, again, offered the good rotation. Yeah, no worries, Garbear. Let's see. They're trying. Nothing more than a rotating market. Still within initial balance. We're about 50% of that IB range right now. That was the guy that made... Yes, exactly, Troy. That was saying that we were going to go to new lows on Friday. And I said, we're in a range and we're more likely to break out the highs, which is what happened. Okay, let's see if there's a gut check here. So they keep refresh selling up there. This is the kind of level. I just want to check the news because that felt a bit more violent there. But any hold down here is very, very bullish. Any hold down here is bullish. ES absorbing VWAP so far. Short gold paying right now versus 4-4 as well. Beautiful. I got my dad short versus 4-4. He just said just covered some, made 2,500 US dollars. So my treat, champagne and caviar. I love it. I love it. All right, what matters is this level here. Hello, hello, hello. This level here. All right, this is where bears got trapped under here. We protected it. We drove in. If we're going to do this sort of W and pull back in, they have to hold into this level here to complete rotation higher. It can just be that we do nothing today. Remember, folks, we have talked about that. We can just do this today. All right, if we go back to Discord, think about some of the options I gave you today. One of them was just total range rotation. One was failed breakout. There you go. We can just do this kind of range rotation today. It's very, very possible. Very, very possible. So this is the kind of level that they're going to need to absorb down here now. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is we left those passive buyers lower. It's kind of ugly when we do that. Gives it good reason to move lower if it wants to. Like there's a magnet there. If they disappeared off the book, I'd feel way better about trading upside, you know. Well, let's see. So far, we just drifted into that wick to wick like we talk about, and they're bidding 31s. But can they get that new move higher? So they're going to need a break of basically 70s now. You've got to hold 71s and push through 70s now. Failing to do that, then I'm just not really interested in this market. We've had the plays we wanted at that point. Here we go. So they're holding that level. Can they reclaim now? It's going to be a battle of the time frames here, I think you're going to find. Back to VWAP. Back to PDC, ES. You can see they don't know what to do. This is a battle of the time frames now. You can see it in plain sight. I'm telling you, if we'd filled 200 and 175, we'd be going upside. There'd be no doubt about it. But we haven't. We haven't filled that. So they want to trade upside, but everyone knows that they're hanging down. It's nice to see some bids come in here, though. But I'm still unconvinced right now. See if ES can get through PDC and base above. Don't like what I'm seeing on the mag, though. That does not look good when I just flick back at the mag. Meta now gone green to red. They need to find some bids on some of these big boy names. Stuck under VWAP right now, folks. Point of control, VWAP, fair value on the day. No decision being made, right? This is your fair value on the day. This is the most traded level of the whole session. We're not below it. We're not above it. We're at it. Indecision. Indecision from the market right now. Not pretty yet. It's not pretty. We expected this, though. Go back to yesterday. What did we expect after the end of yesterday? We expect that inside day. We expect an inside day. We need an inside day. It's so healthy for us to have an inside day. Here's Globex. Can we trade back through 56s, basically, is where the sellers came back in. If we trade through that, we should just trade straight up towards 67s and value area low, and then we can see if we get acceptance in yesterday's value. Yeah, same, Peter. Same, just chilling. Just chilling. All right, reclaiming. Perking my interest. Perking my interest. This was the level, so I gave it to you guys if you wanted it. This was the level, all right? We just talked about them buying this level. They did. They've reclaimed this. We should trade upside now. Here we go. Here we go. All right, let's see. Can we get a bit more aggressive here today? I've had to trade one more day on my one account and then flip 3 days, and I can request my third payout. Thank you for the great education you provide. You're welcome, Richard. Great work, my friend. Great work, my friend. I love to see that. Guys in the team absolutely killing it. That's what happens when you do the course, when you stick around, when you come in Discord, when you're patient, when you stick to the rules, you will start making money. It's just divergence, SMT. Yes, I mean, I talked about it down here. You had divergence at this level down here, and you also had divergence here at that H1, H4 low, both times. I don't strictly trade it. I don't know why, like, it's just divergence. But yes, I'm aware of it. I'm also aware of it between the cash market. All right, here goes ES. So ES trying to take out its initial balance high. If ES squeezes out IB high and bases above, it's going to go for previous day high at 783. We are not up here. This is where ES is right now. This is the relative strength in ES. Why? Tech's having that pullback day. Expected after it ran so hard yesterday. It was expected, but let's see if the Qs can get going now. Let's see if they can get going now. Back inside of Globex range. If we get inside of previous day's value, we should, if they don't slam us off here, all right, if we get back in this, we should attempt to trade New York, IB, previous day point of control. There might be a trade here if they don't fail this for the rotation again. It really depends if ES is going to gun for that previous day high or not. Right now, we're in nothing more than an initial balance rotation. We're about 50% of the range, but we're starting to look better for upside. It's a weird bid. Come on at 212. What are you doing, mate? Very odd. Okay, so VWAP coming up here. ES at that IB high. If you're long ES, really, really, really nice here. Here's a TP1 for you on ES, and then I'd be holding for that previous day high now. Nice range rotation here so far. Nice range rotation day. I mean, nice. Obvious range rotation day. It would have been nice if we came and fed these guys down here first. That's the one thing I would have liked to have seen, but hey. Seen someone longing on TikTok. Can't say I've got the courage for that. Seen someone longing. Longing what, Herb? Sorry. VIX still breaking down. VIX sub 18s now. Into the teens. It's a good sign. I think we're going to move higher here, folks. I think we're going to move higher here. ES trying to break out of its initial balance high. You just want to see if Qs want to wake up today or not. At the moment, the mag is not waking up. Most of the mag is red right now, but I think we're going to move upside here. Here's VWAP. I think previous day value area lows coming, and then through that, yesterday's VWAP is at 81, and then through that, you got that New York Open up at the 300s. Looks good. All right. IB high taking ES, next stop previous day high, so ES might drag the market up here. You want to see Meta catch a bid here and everything else. Still no acceptance inside previous day's value area low. No acceptance inside here. Like I said, they can stuff this, but if we get acceptance through it, up here is the target. The range rotation can continue, folks. We're just trading inside the IB, inside of Globex, inside of the orb, inside of everything right now. I just had a warning come on my screen that I was offline, but I can't see that. Oh, I am offline. Oh, that's weird. I got a data print showing us going all the way down. How bizarre. I've never seen anything like this. And let me close NinjaTrader down. I've got a huge red candle down here. and it's saying I've gone offline. That is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Let's see. Open this back up. Wake up. That is mental. Never seen anything like that. Okay, it's back. That's good. Well, that's new. That's a new one for me. Learn something new every day. Apparently, we can make up random candles now. Oh, it feels laggy. Oh, Ninja Trader feels very laggy moving around. What's going on here? Wakey, wakey. There we go. All right, so like I said, I think you look good. I think you look good for more upside here. ES going for that previous day high. Once we take previous day high, it'd be risk off, folks. Once you take previous day high, it would be risk off. Here you go. Here you go. There's PDH. There is PDH. Guess what? Sellers got trapped at the bottoms again. All right, there's your little pattern. Do, 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 do. All right. Who asked me that on Friday in the private lesson? There it is. Where's the delta? Here it is. Do, 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 do. Stuck. And we are going for IB high. So acceptance over, previous day value now. New York Open, point of control if you're in this. Foster Scott, nice trade, mate. Nice trade, mate, up to previous day high. And here comes the squeeze. So let this settle down now. Is Nightbot being annoying? Sorry, dude. All right. Oh, gosh. Well, that's, I'm going to be honest, it's somewhat frustrating for me. I was buying these dips for this, and I left this one because I wanted it to come here at that point, and maybe should have entered on there. I did call it, but there we go. Just shows. Sometimes you don't get exactly what you want. Be careful here. We're getting a bit frothy up here. We're getting a bit frothy up here. Really nice. Congrats everyone who got that. Really, really, really nice trade. Really nice trade. Let me just check Oracle. Still didn't get filled on the dip. Annoying. Sorry, folks, just checking my swing positions out here a little bit. I've got to manage these as well. All right, nice. Thank you. Bert saying perfect, cool. Yes, thank you very much. Tonio, well, I'm out, not feeling it, and I'm being taken out for no reason. Spike has done me for today. What do you mean, dude? Were you trying to fight the tape? Don't fight the tape. Here we go. Squeezes on. There's the New York Open. So that's your next TP. That's your next TP. Initial balance is next after that, and PDC, and then previous day point of control. Donio, thanks for the insight. I'm done. Nice, Daniel. Lindell with the win. BU with the win. Red Don with the win. Yes, that's the New York Open now. So range rotation, remember we're looking, think about what we talked about right at the beginning. We're looking for traps, bear traps underneath this level. Bear traps will exist, and then we can start that pro trend back higher. It might not start, I mean, this might be the start of the pro trend, but we might not go for those highs till tomorrow. It's very possible they leave it for tomorrow, folks. Very possible we have an inside day here today. It's why it's important that you lock in money on the rotations, okay? Foster Scott, W. Mike, W. Minji, W. Array with the W. John Dennis with the W. Very, very nice. Very nice, folks. Looks good. It looks really good here. It's just a straight squeeze up. Since trapping those shorts at the lows. This is what we went over. I tell you what, this is a good one today. Go back and watch the beginning of the stream. What was I looking for? What were the areas I was looking for it, and why? A really, really good one. You got taken out for no reason on a red candle, but got no. Yeah, that's what I had, Tonio, but I wasn't in the trade, and it shut me out of Ninja Trader. Who were you trading with and what were you trading? They will cover that, because I had the same thing. It booted me out of NinjaTrade, but I wasn't in a trade. But it did a big red candle that didn't exist. So yeah, just take a screenshot if you can. Contact support. It will be fine, mate. If you're trading prop, you're going to be absolutely fine. Hey Flo, is that indicated with the green and red side holding the percentages value? Oh, what is it? It's just, this is just Sati's volume stack. It's called Sati's volume stack. It's a free indicator on TradingView. Almost back to break even. Got to journal on this one today. Sizing too big for scalps. Good work getting break even. My advice right now, Tyre, call it a day. Yeah, if you were red today and you've got back break even, don't try and go green. Just shut it down. It's a range rotating day. If these aren't your markets, which it sounds like it's not necessarily your perfect market, call it a day. Be happy with what you've got. You break even, come back tomorrow, journal it, and go from there. All right. All right, starting to see that pullback. Remember, this was very extended. Value on the day is currently down here, previous day value. So I want to see, do buyers coming in anywhere from 76 to 65s? If not, we can go, guess what? Full rotation back down, all right? We're going from IB low, VWAP, VWAP, IB high, VWAP, very possible. If they fail VWAP, guess where we go? All right, we go back to IB low. So worth noting. It is worth noting. ES back into previous day high here. Remember, we were frothy on that move up. It did not stop. Did not stop. It can still make new highs, but it needs to breathe, and we have to respect the fact that we're inside of an initial balance. We're an inside day. We are inside Globex. We're inside everything. Yes, we can keep going higher, but just make sure you're not looking for one of these huge trend days. All right? We respect the rotations on days like these. You've got QT rhythmic, got long and breaking. Yeah, it. Make sure you screenshot it. I guarantee you, I saw the same thing. I guarantee you they're going to be inundated with messages. It's going to be a data provider issue. You're not going to get in trouble for it. They will fix it. They're going to have to fix it because the candle didn't even exist. I've never seen that before. Like I said, I've never ever seen it. But make sure you screenshot it, because I reset my NinjaTrader and it's gone. That candle wasn't there. I know what you're talking about. You were here and you had a candle do this, which didn't exist. Because I had this on NinjaTrader. The candle doesn't exist. So they've clearly had a data issue there. Oh, nice. My just been sent. So that if anyone listened to my interview with Austin, I talk about a guy called Marwan from Morgan Stanley who got me. He was the first one really to get me into trading. Sat down and interviewed with him. He actually took me for dinner, and he was. He's just retired and done a post. I'll read that later. Yeah, he was the first one to make me read Market Wizards. Good dude. Right, I'm going to turn my aircon off here. Just be right back. What is going on with the weather in LA? It's like I'm living in a cloud. Major fog outside. All right, they're holding. We just talked about this. Can they hold this level? Can they hold value and look for the extension higher? They are holding, folks. They are looking for that extension at the moment. No guarantee they get it, but that's what they're trying to do. ES is trying to bid off previous day high. They are trying to absorb in and around here. The only thing I don't like is we've still got those massive bids now at 225 and 200. So you can see This bid at 200, all right, he then moved some of his size at like 1051 up to, I don't know what that is, 210. And then he's moved it again up to 225. He's getting annoyed that he's not getting filled. So he keeps moving higher and higher and higher looking for a fill. I don't like that he's still looking to bid down there. I hate that we've got so much size down there. That is, for me, a problem. I want him out of the market and filled so there's less reason to go down for him. We are in a range rotating day. You cannot be too one-sided on days like today. Yes, overall, I expect this market to take out all-time highs. Probably not today. Probably more likely to happen tomorrow once this higher time frame pullback is finished. Google having a terrible day today. 8.5 points down, 3.55% down on the day. That will drag the market if it keeps doing that. What a piece of crap after breaking out. It's a weird one. It's a weird one, Goog. Was in that downtrend for ages, broke out straight to all-time highs and giving a decent chunk back. It can't seem to hold gains and break out and rebase, but we'll see. We'll see into earnings. AMD as well. Wanted that to hold above 240. Let's see. We're having a pullback day though, so expected. What am I seeing here? 100-point range today, pretty small. Yes, smaller day, inside day. That's why. Over 200 on just 2 micros. Love it, BU. Good work. Happy that I'm not alone. Got to be a first to me. It won't be yeah. I promise you, Tonio. If I've seen it and you've seen it, they will be inundated with people who have the same thing. Just message them. It will get sorted. It will get sorted. Herb's got to learn to sit out. Yep, that just comes with time. Learning what your favorite market is. If you don't like inside days and range rotations, then good to sit these out. Focus on the trending days, which means look for markets above and below previous day highs and previous day lows. We're not having that today. Really important to learn that as a trader as quickly as possible. What are the conditions that you like to trade in? It will really, really help you advance your trading quickly. They're still trying to hold previous day value. It's perking my interest here a little bit. It is perking my interest here a little bit, I'll be honest. Here's the squeeze. So they got to get through 95s now. ES holding previous day high. Maybe a 2-leg first would be nicer. Don't know if they offer it, but that would be nicer. 2-leg down first would be nice. I'm very aware we're in range rotations. Don't really want to be buying high up here at the moment, but got to observe the tape. VIX is new low of day. ES is still holding previous day high. This can still move higher. A 2-leg would be higher. Some form of trap down here would be really nice. Maybe they do this, but ideally they do this for the rotation. We have to be very careful of that grey level. Why? This was the rotational area yesterday. Think about all the buyers and buyers and buyers and buyers and buyers that became sellers and sellers and sellers and sellers and sellers. Until we get through that, that's where a bigger squeeze happens. All right, above that point of control, think about this. 1, 2, back inside, back above that, a bigger squeeze can happen. Until then, we can still fill out this. What was this? This was very thin structure. Straight up, all we're doing really is repairing some of this. We've left this still open for now. And guess who's down there? Those big buyers. Maybe not enough edge here for me at the moment. Very different day to yesterday. All right, understand the difference. Look at yesterday's move. Look at today's move. Yesterday's move gave you clues that today was going to be like this. Learn to see that, folks. It's very unusual that we go straight up, straight up, straight up. All right, we went up in a big squeeze yesterday. We need to pull back. Today is giving us that pullback on a higher time frame. Let's get these likes up. We do 150 likes and we'll give away a free course. Rain, I've got to become profitable so I can get my hands on the course of yours, brother. Uh, what can I say to that? I don't want to. I don't want to sell you, but whether you do it with me or do it with someone else, your money's better spent saving up and doing a good course, a verified course from other traders that will teach you properly, not one of these bullshit courses, a good course. The money's better spent there than it is, putting risk on trading, whether that's with prop firms, your own money. Learn it first. Learn the skill first. Learn the skill first. Doesn't have to be with me. If it's with someone else that you really like, that's also fine. But just make sure, no, you're not going to become profitable. Maybe you are. That's not fair. It's unlikely you become profitable just sitting at the screen by yourself all the time. All right, it's really, really hard. But I hear what you're saying. If you don't have the cash flow to buy the course, I get it. I absolutely get it. Okay, so still rejecting value and this kill candle here. All right, so kill candle, they're still rejecting this. We can still offer a second leg down here. I'm definitely not playing the shorts, but they can still offer that into here. Maybe I'll be interested, but not really, because we're midpoint of the range. I'm lacking edge in the market. ES is looking really good though. Let's have a little look at the mag again, see where we're at. Tesla just over a third of a percent down. Nvidia 0.41% down. Microsoft trying to go red to green. Meta has just about gone red to green, but those two are pretty much flat on the session. Google's getting absolutely hammered. Let's just have a look at Goog. I want to see what the opportunities are in this. Let's look at the daily. I want to see how far that's pulling back. All right, is it going to go for a gap fill? Yes, it is. It's not too bad, Goog. The problem is it's inefficient. So it's filling this gap. All right, if they find a bid here, maybe they go for rotation. But that is a terrible look on a failed breakout. Really, you would have, if I was a buyer on Google, would have wanted it to hold 250s. Not seeing that. So gap fill. Let's check this range out. Yeah, 50% gap fill. I'd want to see that gap get filled and then give it a session or two, really, to see if buyers come back in. But that's not looking the healthiest. It's not too bad. But, you can see where my orders have been, waiting for that big old gap flush. Not coming yet. All right, squeeze. They're starting to squeeze here. And they've reclaimed that kill candle we just talked about back to the high of day. I'm just lacking edge here. Like ES wants to drift higher at this point, but remember ES is into a big supply block. If we look at the spiders, you can see it very, very clearly. Look at the ES spiders, 15 minutes. Here is your 7-day balance range. All right. Remember, NQ traded right up here and failed yesterday. We're just digging into this. This is major supply on ES. What do we expect? We expect a build out of liquidity. If we're going to go higher, we've got to build this out. To offer that, we need short, squeeze them. All right. We need them involved. We need shorts involved in the market to give us what we want. Yeah, just a lack of edge here for me. VIX still fading down. ES still holding above previous day high. But don't like the location. Location of the ES is awful. Location of the buy for me is terrible up here. Remember, I was looking for dips down here this morning. I think I had 2 attempts. We got long. Should have had the third one, shouldn't I? Really? 1, 2, 3. Should have been trading that. Idiot, Alex. 1, 2. This was the one I missed. That was the best one. I even talked about that dip back in. That's going to need a review for me, to be honest. What would I add to risk there? Should have put that on. Was not a lot of risk. It's like 20 points risk for the full rotation. Should have put that on. Should have, would have, could have talked about it. Didn't do it. Gotta own it. Gotta improve from that. Gotta own it. Gotta improve from that. That was a really nice trade there. Dum 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 dum. That's my favorite setup. I think all that stopped me trading that was the 200 guy not being filled. If we had done this, I know I would take that. That's all that was. I'm going to rewatch the video, but I guarantee you I'm talking about I want to see 200 filled. I know that's the only thing that stopped me taking it. Is what it is. Sometimes the market gives you exactly what you want. Sometimes it doesn't. Sorry, catching up with chat here. Watch all his free videos for free and then decide. Yeah, exactly. There's so much for free on YouTube, folks. There's even a course. If you go to my website, there's a free course. It's a small course, but it gets you started if you haven't traded before. Are my indicators available on TradingView? They come free with the course, or you can upgrade them to the pro version that you have here on my website. There's a link on my website, flowzonetrader.com. I missed it too. I was hesitant because we are trading right at that dump candle on the left, and the buyers are not being filled lower. Yeah, that was it. That's the only thing that put me off, is those buyers not being filled lower. But maybe I need to give less attention to passive buyers and more attention to this down here. If we look at this down here, 86 lot, 62 lot, 121 lot, 60 lot, 63 lot. All right, so we had, let's count them. Let's call that 80, 140, 160, 260, 270, 320, 380. Okay, so we had basically 400 market order sells ranging between that 225 and just above that 200. The moment we broke 225, it was a long. All right, so if we put that here, we had 400 market order sellers down here, seen on the book map. The moment we broke, what did I just say? 225, was it? Yeah, the moment we broke 225, they became trapped, which is why I was talking about that pullback in. I probably should have taken that, or that rotation. Here comes the rotation then. So failing IB, the rotation. There we go. Well, any IB traders here, you just hit your TP1, TP2 will be down here. And the rotation continues. This is becoming a leave alone for me now. This is exactly what we talked about. All right, this is exactly what we talked about. We will build this out here one way or another. Doesn't have to come down here, just as an example. Can just stay up here if it wants. But we will build and build and build and build and build, and eventually it will allow that later in the week. Right? Not a trend day, are we? Not a trend day. Yeah. What platform am I using? I execute on NinjaTrader. Right? I execute on NinjaTrader because I use hotkeys. I have all my indicators available for NinjaTrader. They're all on the website. Actually, I even have this now available for NinjaTrader. I need to get that up on the website. But yeah, Trend Friend Pro, lots of you signed up for this, is now available on the website. You can see this is helping you as well. Look at the time frames. Neutral, neutral, neutral. All right, M15 to H1 neutral. That means what? Build liquidity. It's building liquidity. Yeah, I think we had some good trades. I'm gutted about this one, but we had the right idea today, and you know, it will continue to build out. Maybe the afternoon session they get going. I don't know, folks. I kind of hope not. All right, if we go back to the beginning of the day, what would we like to be seen built out? Go back to the daily chart right here. What would we like to see build out? We'd love an inside bar. All right, versus this here, I said, didn't I? Sort of this high wick, right? If we build this out, what does that look like? All right, that's your inverted head and shoulder with a double bottom fail break, right? Failed break of the low, failed break. Well, that's not true. Let's say that again. Failed break of the low, failed break of the low. Seller's trap down here. Friday, drift upside. Monday, gap up. Tuesday, pull back. Encourage more sellers to come in and play a double top. Hold a level, build sellers in here. Wednesday or Thursday, whenever they're ready, boom. Beautiful. What do we also have? Daily Bollinger Bands, opening upside. Fantastic, giving us room for that upside move. It's honestly, this is what we want. We want this. If it wants to come down here, it can. That we don't really want. But we want this. We want this built out. Ideally, they don't take this today. They leave it for tomorrow. Then the bowl will be up here, and then we've got room to push for 500. That's what I'd like to see. That's what we were talking about yesterday. It's what we talked about this morning on stream. I don't think so, Peter. In answer to your question, a low resistance liquidity run. I don't think so. I honestly think everything we build in here today is going to be used for a bullish move. All right. I think today's job is to reprice this. This is where I got long yesterday. Remember, breakout. Then we added in here, or we took a new trade in here. We traded upside. Once we got up here, we weren't really interested. In fact, in chat, I think I took a short here in the afternoon. Or maybe it was here. Oh, it was over here, actually. It was here. We took this short in the afternoon. Once we trapped these buyers at the high, this short. This is liquidity being built out. Look at how we've built this out. All right, we're repricing. Think about how thin this is. It's a big, giant move. All right, main trend is what? What's been the go-to trend since March? Right, the go-to trend since March has been what we've seen here. Failing, sellers failing to take control. They are now trapped under here. That's the bullish move. This is trying to encourage more sellers to come in versus this level. As long as this holds, I expect to complete the rotation to all-time highs. That said, all right, that said, it might not hold. I think it will hold, but it might not hold. So I will be open. All right, I'm not going to be like an Uber bull here. If we fail to hold this range here, and definitely if we fail to hold previous week value area high, but if we fail to build liquidity above here for this rotation, what happens? Well, if we come down here, this will be a failed breakout of the high. Then we can think about that rotation back down, but I'm not really considering shorts. First of all, until we get under 150, 100, but more so until we get under 900. All right, all the time they're holding this. Think about the newsletter. What are the key levels last week? 700 to 25,000. If we're over 25,000, what are we doing? We're trying to take that out. So we'd have to fail convincingly under the old value to rotate. Until that point, this is a pullback. All right, this is a pullback. This is why I always say, like, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Like, lots of people will say, like, oh, higher time frame chart and H1 and rebalance it. Like, understand the actual structure here. Understand the structure here. Let's go to a daily. All right. What is the structure here? It's bullish, right? We had a 3% down day and it's been absorbed. Have we broken under that 3% down day? No. Was that 3% down day into a key level? Yeah, it was. It's held. It's held the 24-2. Right here. Sellers need this. They're not getting it, which means they are trapped. The move is upside. Everything else is a pullback to hold until it proves otherwise, right? That's how I get my bias. It's from that higher time frame. That's why every morning we start on that daily chart. We start on that daily chart. I'm trading tomorrow to Friday, so would love that to be a big... Yeah, Bowden, if we build an inside day today and they break out tomorrow, you can have some fun tomorrow and Thursday for expansion. The spanner in the works is going to be that CPI print Friday. It's going to be that on Friday. That'll be the spanner. Fed chat is pumping crypto right now. Is it? What are they saying? Crypto to new all-time high. It's because they want to rotate into crypto. Did they just reabsorb under 107s? Let's have a look. They did. All right. So we talked about those 107s. This is the same thing that we've just traded today, right? So that you can understand this. In fact, let's do it here because it's going to be easier to see. All right, here's your BTC. Here's an hourly. Right, this is how the market works. Support, 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 support. What comes in here? Breakout bears. What also comes in here? Bulls, stops. Which means what? All of this is market order sells. All right? Market order sells come in versus this like 107, 108, this line here. All right? Market order sells. So they get all of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of down before we start going sideways. What's their pain point? Or what's their entry? 107. What happens here? Back inside the range, hold them. What do we now have? This will be delta offside. All right, market order sell side is under here. What now happens? Squeeze, pull back in, same level. Funny how that's the same level, eh? It's exactly the same level. We can put a box on it. That's the over-under. They've reclaimed it. This is the same as we have in this market all the time. And I'm talking about like the stock market. This is a failed breakout by bears. What happens when we get a failed breakout? We squeeze. Where are they going to go? They're going to go for all their liquidity. Any stop which is available now, they're going to attack. Okay, so the next level for Bitcoin is going to be here, 113s, 600s, whatever it is, and then 116s. And then we can think about, can they really absorb all this for a bigger move up? Because this can just be a failed breakout back into range. Right, so here and here would be my areas. So I would have been, if I was a buyer in this, I'd be buying this dip here, right? The right side of the V, think about it. Sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve, or if you want to do a V, right side of the V. We're buying in here, nice and cheap. This is your Wyckoff. This is your failed break. That's your spring. That's your sign of strength. That's the pullback inside. We're going upside. TP1, TP2, and then you're just holding on for dear life if you can get up there. It's exactly that. This is what I mean. The market, it doesn't matter what market you're looking at. Watch market, shoe market, car market, crypto market, bond market. They all move the same way. It is all about trapped participants. That's all the market is ever about. It is about trapped participants. Not trying to go on. I'm trying to help you guys understand. It's all the same. It's all the same. Camus, yeah, I just made some money. Thank you. You're welcome. Super, makes sense. Have some ideas for the next mood. Would have made billions by then, so we're all good, yeah. All right, so they're still absorbing down here. All right, this is where the last set of buyers came in. So remember, shorts are trapped. Exactly the same as we just looked at Bitcoin is the same on a lower time frame here. Shorts are currently trapped under here, definitely under here. There's the failed breakout. All right, so this becomes demand because this is where shorts are trapped. They become buyers in the market. So any hold of here, we dipped into that. The next dip into that was here. We're holding this level now. All right, and then we have sellers currently in this grey box. That's the levels. Those are the levels. And we're just going to play back and forth. The problem at the moment is we haven't got a whole lot of range to play back and forth into. You've got about 100-point range here today, right? So if you're playing edge to edge, you need to be playing right on that edge to give yourself room and risk reward to get upside. If you're playing here, right, you're 50-50. That's why I've become less interested now. That makes sense for everyone. At least we're doing some lessons while the market's gone quiet, but hopefully that can help you. You gone? Yeah. Is that the little guy? Oh. Hey, dude. Yeah. Bye, darling. It's my nephew on the phone. All right, so the question now is, can they use this liquidity, this set stops to get up here? That would be the question I'd now pose for the market. And ES will need to reclaim that previous day high. Currently, ES is failing under previous day high. Ooh, OSCR up just under 5% today. Are we going to get going in that again? Oh, nice. I'm up, back up 14% on that. Lovely. All right, folks, we need a few more likes here. I did say 150 for today. We got there yesterday very easily. 150 likes will give away some stuff. I've become uninterested in this market personally. We can get upside, but it's going to have to start proving itself. And with how ES is acting, I'm not convinced. Maybe that changes. Back towards that IB high. So this is the third attempt to get up into that IB high now. And PDC and New York Open. Alex, did you receive an email? I haven't had anything from you, I don't think, buddy. Let me just check. No, I haven't had an email. info@flowzonetrader.com. Shoot me your email there. I'll sort you out with that code from yesterday. If POC now shifted up, if they hold POC, they're going to try and expand through that IB high. It's a big if. Like I said, ES can't reclaim PDH right now. ES in danger of making a lower high and lower low here. It is holding SPY, it is trying to hold its pre-market high, so it's just sort of trapped in no man's land. NQ wants to come and pop these stops, but every time we've come up here, it has failed. It has absolutely failed. Tesla clawing back this market is about to go red to green on Tesla. So if we take today's highs as a bull trap to signal going lower to 30-minute gap, that's also a Wyckoff, right? Today's highs. I wouldn't consider taking today's highs a bull trap necessarily. It depends where they take it, because if they, it's always what happens after, right? That's what happens after. If we take today's highs and we get up here, right, we're going to attack the next level. If we take today's highs and come down here, we just continue to rotate in here. It's not, I did notice that yesterday in what you were saying. It's not what happens. This is where people get stuck with, like, oh, we've done a sweep. Based on what? A sweep would need to be take level and a big broker structure to downside, right? So it doesn't necessarily become a bull trap just if we take the highs. It's if we take it and we fail. It has to be the response. Always. What's the response when we hit a level? How does the market act when we hit a level? What does liquidity do when we hit a level? If we take that high and, you know, lots of market orders come in and we don't move higher, yeah, absolutely, you would be right. I would consider it a rotation back. If we take that high and lots of sellers come in and we keep moving higher, we're going to keep moving higher. If we take that high and market orders come in and we keep moving higher and they're aggressive, we're going to keep moving higher, right? So it all depends what happens after we hit a level. What's the reaction? ES can't get through previous day high. I would be very concerned right now watching ES. It's trying to base on its IB, but I don't like the look of that. That looks a little bit backsidey to me. Sorry, I mean, if we look at today's highs from 8 a.m.-ish, you're talking about pre-market. This. So you want to take that. Again, same thing though. You would need to see us take that and fail. And just know who's trapped right now. Sellers are trapped here. Buyers are maybe trapped above, but the main move is to get higher. I would be very careful trying to fade this market. We've just gone over it. The pro trend is higher. I'd be very careful trying to look like maybe there's a scalp there for you, but the pro trend is to try and move higher. If it looks above and fails and comes back into the initial balance, as long as there's liquidity to aim for lower, it can go for it. That's the other key thing, folks. Just because it goes above and comes back in, is there then a reason for it to go lower? If there's a reason, absolutely. Yeah, if there's a reason, absolutely. I would say there is a reason if it wants. I don't think there's that much excess on this. I mean, it's not a bad low, but it's pretty small. It wasn't like a spike down in that. But right now, order flow is very bullish. Rotational, bullish order flow. Big starting to find a bid here. All right, I'm going to use the bathroom while this base is out. Be right back. And the shuffle continues. Shuffle continues. Yeah, it's a real thing. I go to the bathroom, market pukes. Like I said, ES is the one for me, making this look fairly obvious. All right. This looks like backside, doesn't it? Think about how this looks. Really nice here. Upside, volume trapped up here. Breakdown, failed to reclaim it, opens up what? Move back down to point of origin. All right, so this is a clearer backside move for me. right? Buy side, sell side currently, back to midpoint, right? And we have structure here. If they want to bid back off this, this can be 1, 2, and they can bid back off it. In a rotational market, you have to see money take money, all right? So if you didn't take that sell on ES and you took this, you better be covering some here because it can be the end of a second leg, midpoint, reclaim, go back to the highs, take this, fail the high, come back down. Like we can keep going over and over again. I know I'm like a stuck record for it, folks. If it must really annoy you if you know what you're talking about, but for some of you, hopefully this is making you understand how this market operates. Straight back upside. Oh, you got to laugh. I think it's hilarious. Trend traders getting very upset today. They're getting very upset, but today is not a trend. It is a rotation. Oh, morning, Awani. Morning. Those in Discord, I just posted something you might be interested in reading today in the barroom tab. See what you guys are saying in here. Nice, Scott. Really nice. Beautiful. Okay, back and forth continues. You can just move to a 5 minute. All right, it will stop you over trading this. All right, you can see the levels on a 5 minute. All right, they would like to complete the rotation, but so far stuck between this. Right, that's where we are. I don't really want to buy up here, and I don't really want to sell down here, and I don't really want to participate in the middle. The opportunity was here for me today. If you're joining and thinking, "Oh, he has not traded much," we took the trades already. I'm not going to give back liquidity to the market. Maybe in the afternoon we get a nice move. Ideally, they pin it in this range all day and we get the move tomorrow. That would be the most ideal scenario for me personally. We've got 15 minutes till lunch as well here, folks. We need to get those likes up. Let's at least get it to 125, team. Get it to 125 and I'll give away a course, one of the introduction courses. Lots of volume being built out here. You can see it's very thick today as well. We don't have many low volume nodes. It's fairly even here. Oh, I don't mean to do that. Let's delete that. Right, there's no real low volume nodes to look at. Right down to value, picked up. Right back up to the upside now. Do they break out or fail here? That's the question. Every time we've come up here, we failed. ES has not reclaimed previous day high yet. So, you know, just as much as chance a seller comes up back in here and slaps it back downside again. We don't know. We do not know. How can we enroll a giveaway? I will call it out on here. We need to get the likes up first. Get those likes flying up first, and I'll give you a code to write in here, and we'll choose someone. At this point, it's very risky. Yes, I agree, Raf. I agree. I think there's a lack of edge in the market when we build liquidity for me. Remember, because we need one side caught offside. So we want, our edge comes from when someone is completely caught offside. Now, it might be that we start squeezing here. It might well be that they go for it here. But the buying opportunity was here, maybe here. Since then, I wouldn't say there's been a great buying opportunity in the market. So we're trying to buy discount, which is undervalue, to sell in premium here. This is fair value. This is overvalue right now. This is fair value from yesterday. This is premium from yesterday. So they're going to test. If they can, they're going to try and test these levels up here. But the opportunity's gone, unfortunately. We are, Hawani. We're not too far away. We'll probably hit it tomorrow or the next day. Tesla just gone red to green. That's probably what a lot of the shuffle is coming from, actually. Let me have a little look. So can it break out of its high of day on Tesla and get going? So that had a big drive up this morning and failed. So can it break out of 448.79 and then previous day high 449.80? So 450 really, looking at. So if you're still long in this, you look good as your initial balance high. You would want to see this squeeze through this and come and tap into previous day point of control now. Up here. And if we get through that, then you're going to go and test previous day's value. Here's previous day's point of control. Very nice. ES starting to try and attempt to reclaim. So are they going to squeeze into lunch? And if and when do these sellers come in? Have they caught enough shorts today? Can see why we were long biased today looking for these moves. There's your point of control. All right, so they've just tagged their target. That's biggest liquidity zone from yesterday now. Just came straight into it in this grey box. So they completed the rotation. Only things left for them to aim for will be previous day value area high, which is previous day high, and Globex if they really want to go. I really don't want them to get going today. I want them to leave this for tomorrow, ideally. I would really like them to leave these moves for tomorrow. ES not breaking out here, by the way, so sluggish on ES. It all depends how H1 acts now. Let's get at least one more like on here. Come on, folks. One more like and we do this giveaway for the free course. Let me email Apex as well. Aha, I got your email, Raf. I'll sort you out now. All right, looks good. Sorry, just had to reply to that email. Previous day point of control being tagged here. If they can keep squeezing, then you know, you can look for a trade up to sort of last transition, sort of 30s, maybe up to 40s, and then the value areas. But they've definitely caught those shorts down here now. It's very, very obvious. They wouldn't let them out. These guys here got caught, held them in here, probably encouraged them to come in on a double top, held them in, and they're getting blown out now. And we're going to use their stops to try and go up here at the moment. It's just unfortunately too late for me to join. I was looking for these dips down here this morning. Should have had one more go down there like we talked about, but there we go. We've already locked in some good money. Not going to complain too much. Alex, can I ask a quick question on what we were talking about yesterday in Discord? Not urgent. Can we? Yeah, we can do it after stream. No worries. Yeah, good work, Chris. Good work on shutting it down. Good work on shutting it down. All right, point of control here. Remember, this is the most traded level from yesterday. ES starting to try and join the party now for that squeeze up. And the question really is, can they get to previous day value area high? But we have held previous day close and IB, but they've hit some pretty key levels here, I'd say. And this is where it got sort of thick yesterday as an under over. I'm going to get rid of this so we can see it a bit more. So the only question is, can we drift up to here? That is literally the only question that we have for this market right now is can it drift up to there? It can flush all the way back down. It can let go of the whole thing if they've decided that this is the completion of the move. Right, let's give away an account, not an account, course. And we're into lunch here very shortly as well. Okay, all you got to do is type course in chat. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. And we'll see what's what. Just type it once, course in chat. We'll give away an introduction course here. There are some sellers up to those 400s. You just wonder, did they do that move today? Nvidia 0.25% down, Microsoft 0.20% down, Meta 0.16% down. It wouldn't take too much to get those red to green. Tesla's just gone red to green. Amazon having a great day, 2.73% up. Annoying because Alex wanted to buy more of it today and didn't get a chance to get picked up. But there we go. We gapped up in the morning on that. Apple 0.68% up, extending its all-time highs so far, which is great. So yeah, just type course once, folks. I'll give you a couple more minutes to do it. So ES NQ about to take out that H1, an old H1 high at 31s. Through there, we can maybe get up to 43s, and through there, maybe we get going into previous day value area high, previous day high. Globex, if it really wants to get pushing on a squeeze, would be nice. Here's the start of the squeeze. So can they start getting acceptance through now or not is the question. This is the target for you guys if you're still in this long. All right. You can't be long up here, folks. All right. Maybe some of you either bought this or this or this, or maybe even this looked quite good. All right, for this move. Don't be buying up here now, even if it goes without you getting good habits. All right, let's pull this winner. JJ, are you here, JJ? Are you here, JJ? Let me know you're here, my friend. Are you here, JJ? Hopefully you're here, bud. You bought the course. Well, this is just the free one. This is not the big one. So I'll re-roll it then in that case. This is just the small course, not the big one, buddy. So you haven't lost out, don't worry. Okay, we're going to do a re-roll. Mr. C, Mr. Emoji C, are you here? Yeah, this is just for the introductory course, folks. It's not the full course. It's just the introduction course. Are you here, Mr. C? There you go. All right, Mr. C, email me, please. info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me just a screenshot of your YouTube so I can see it's you logged in, so I know it is you. And I'll sort you out with the introductory course. All right? And get you all set up. So info@flowzonetrader.com, please, bud. Just email me there. So starting to see that rotation and pullback now. You've got 4 minutes to lunch. I'm almost out of here, folks. I'll stay with you a tiny bit longer. And then we're gonzo. Take care, Scott. Lovely trade off those lows, by the way, mate. Lovely work today, as always. And thanks for sharing in Discord as well. Let's see. PD up 258 for the day. Calling it a day. See you all tomorrow. Yeah, look, just any gains today. I'm telling you now, folks. If you've been disciplined today, right? If you've sat with me and been like, either way, whether you are willing to take this short here, which I consider counter trend, it might be pro in this trend, but it's counter trend overall. If you took this short here and made money, you did well. If you took any of these longs looking for these rotations back up, you did well. If you've avoided trading it because you understand that's not your day, you did well. 95, I guarantee you're going to go on social media later and you're going to see people going, oh, I blew up my account because the trade copier broke and my internet went out and I went for a cigarette and yeah, bollocks. What they did is they went long, max loss. Short, max loss. Short, max loss. Long, stop that. I went without me. Long, max loss. All right, that's what they all did. That's what they do because they just can't sit still and get the edge of knowing what kind of trade condition we're in, where the buyers and sellers want to participate and play the edges. So as long as you sat still or had a small red day or had a small green day, I would doubt many of you had massive green days. We haven't had the range. Then you've done really, really well. All right. And just know that by being still and waiting for your setup, you're doing 95% better than most traders. You're 95% better than most traders. All right. Not every day is going to be A+, like we always talk about. We need choppy days. We have to have choppy days. All right. They are what give us the A+ days afterwards. Maybe it's going to be the A+ session this afternoon. I don't know. I'll keep my eyes on. I'll put some price alerts out. But ideally, Ideally, they don't do it today. I would love them just to leave this move for tomorrow. It'd be really nice if they can leave it for tomorrow. What's Miguel saying? Trump is hosting a lunch at the White House Rose Garden. What now? Good time to get out of here then, isn't it? I will be watching the game later. Yes, absolutely, Bowden. I got my shirt ready, my friend. All right, folks, I'm going to call it a day there. Any questions before I go? Hopefully you're all set. I know a bit of a slower market today, but there we go. I think you're all good, right? You're all good. All right, peace and love, everyone. As always, please use hard stops. Don't oversize, right? Be patient. Wait for your setup. If you don't know what your setup is, start defining it. Start creating rules around what your setup is each day. And I will be back tomorrow morning. I think we were going to have a good day on a Wednesday. Either tomorrow or Thursday, we're going to have a fantastic day. It's setting up for it. As long as today is kind and doesn't expand the range, we're going to have a great day. All right, so be here nice and early tomorrow, 9:15. Trade safe this afternoon. Those in Discord, I'll see you over there. Peace and love. Be kind to each other. Catch you soon.